I came home early from work and caught my wife in a tism with my father and stepmother, so I recorded everything, served her divorce papers, and made all three of their lives hell. 15 years later, after my ex-wife died, my father and stepmother showed up at my door begging for help. I spit in their faces and slammed the door without saying a word. I've been sitting on this for 15 years, never told anyone the full story. Figure it's time. I was 32, working as a forensic accountant at a Big Four firm. Good money, decent hours. Thought I had my SHT together. Married for 4 years to Brooke, who worked in pharmaceutical sales. We'd been trying for kids, talking about buying a bigger house, the whole effing American dream package. That Tuesday in March I left the office at 2 p.m. Can't explain why, just felt wrong, like when you know someone's been in your space even though nothing's moved. My gut was screaming I should have been knee-deep in a fraud investigation for a Fortune 500 client. Instead, I was pulling into my driveway at 2:47 p.m. Brooke's BMW was there, so was my father's truck and my stepmother Maureen's white Range Rover with those stupid Namaste stickers all over the back. I remember thinking maybe they were planning something for my birthday next month. How effing naive. The front door was unlocked. I could hear sounds from the living room, moaning, grunting, skin slapping against skin. I walked in to find my wife on all fours on our $8,000 leather sectional, my father effing her from behind while my stepmother sat NKD in my recliner playing with herself while giving instructions like some perverted director. Harder, Gerald, she likes it when you pull her hair. The smell hit me. SX sweat and more, and signature lavender oil she pushes on her Instagram followers made me want to puke. They didn't even notice me at first. I stood there for maybe 10 seconds watching my father, the man who taught me to ride a bike, who walked me down the aisle at my wedding, balls deep in my wife, while his own wife cheered him on. Brooke saw me first. You'd expect shame, right? Panic, some human effing emotion. She smirked, actually smirked. Oh, you're home early. That's when I pulled out my phone, started recording, got all of it. Gerald pulling out DK still hard more and trying to cover herself with a throw pillow. Brooke just sitting there like this was a normal Tuesday. The F are you doing? Gerald said, not son, I'm sorry, not, this isn't what it looks like, just anger that I was interrupting. I didn't say a word. Capped recording. Walked upstairs to my office, printed out the divorce papers I downloaded 3 months earlier after our last big fight. Yeah, I'd been thinking about it. She'd been distant, working late, the usual BS. Never imagined this. Came back down. They'd managed to find some clothes. I handed Brooke the papers. Sign them. You get nothing, you fight me. This video goes to your boss, your friends, your mother, and that pharmaceutical conference you're keynoting next month. She laughed. You wouldn't dare. You're too much of a. I pulled up her boss's contact on my phone, showed her the video attached to a draft email, subject line, your sales rep's extracurricular activities. She signed. I looked at Gerald, my father, the man I tried so hard to make proud. Get out, all of you now. More, and started with her wellness BS. This is all just negative energy. We can work through this as a family. Get the F out. They left. Brooke tried to take some jewelry, claimed it was hers. I showed her the receipts on my phone. Everything documented. That's what I do, document things. Follow the money. Build cases. She left with the clothes on her back and the BMW I'd co-signed for. I'd handled that later. I sat in my empty house on that contaminated couch and planned they wanted to destroy my life. Fine, I'd return the favor, but I do it right, methodically, thoroughly. I do what I do best, follow the paper trail and watch everything burn. Update 1. 3 months later. You all wanted to know what happened next. Buckle up. First, I hired the best divorce attorney in the state, showed him the video. He actually winced, said in 30 years he'd never seen something this comprehensively documented. The divorce went through in record time. Brooke got her clothes, her car, and $50,000, way less than half, but she didn't want that video getting out. But I wasn't done, not even close. See, being a forensic accountant means I know how to find dirt, and these three idiots had been leaving trails everywhere. Gerald, first, my father owns 6 auto shops across the state, did pretty well, drove a nice truck, had a house on the lake. What he didn't know was that I'd helped him set up his books years ago, still had access to his systems. He never changed the passwords. Took me 2 weeks to find it. He'd been skimming cash transactions for years, not huge amounts, but enough, around $300,000 total. The IRS has this wonderful whistleblower program. You report tax fraud, you get up to 30% of what they recover. I submitted everything, every receipt, every altered invoice, every cash transaction. He'd hidden 20 years of meticulous fraud, all packaged up with a bow. The IRS raided his shops 3 months later, seized everything, the business, the house, the lake property. He ended up owing $1.2 million in back taxes and penalties. I got a check for $360,000 more, and next, my stepmother had built this whole brand around being a wellness goddess and sacred relationship coach. 50,000 Instagram followers eating up her BS about conscious coupling and tantric marriage. The video was educational. I created an anonymous account, posted select screenshots to a gossip forum focused on exposing fake influencers. Not the whole video, just enough. Her face was visible, so was her wedding ring, so was the fact that she was definitely not with her husband. Her followers found it within hours. The comments were brutal. Brands started dropping her sacred marriage retreat scheduled for next month. Canlet after every single couple demanded refunds, but the best part, she'd been claiming her wellness center as a religious organization for tax exemption, except she was also selling products and requiring donations for services. That's fraud. Another IRS report, another raid. Turns out she owed about $200,000 in back taxes. Her Instagram went from 50K to 3K followers in a month. Last I checked, she was selling essential oils through an MLM. Brooke, less. This one was personal. See Pharmaceutical sales reps have to follow strict ethics guidelines. They can't accept kickbacks, have to report all gifts. And definitely can't falsify expense reports. Brooke had been doing all three. I still had access to our shared cloud storage, found 3 years of expense reports, cross-referenced them with our credit card statements. She'd been filing false reports claiming client dinners that were really girls' nights, convention trips that were personal vacations, but the real gold, she'd been effing a doctor at one of the major hospitals, doctor married with 3 kids. He'd been writing suspicious numbers of prescriptions for her company's top-tier painkillers. She'd been giving him gifts, vacations, golf clubs, probably the 2-1 anonymous tip to her company's ethics hotline, 1 package of evidence to the DEA about suspicious prescribing patterns, 1 email to the good doctor's wife with some very interesting photos from Brooke's phone backup. Brooke was fired within a week, lost her license, the doctor lost his hospital privileges and is under federal investigation. His wife took him for everything in the divorce. Brooke tried calling me, texted me, how could you do this? I made one mistake effing my father while my stepmother directed was one mistake. I blocked her number. The aftermath, it took 2 years, but I destroyed them all completely legally using their own crimes against them. Gerald went from successful business owner to working at a chain oil change place. Morin lost everything and moved in with her sister. Brooke spiraled hard. Last I heard, she was cocktail waitressing and had developed a pretty serious pill problem. Ironic considering her former career. I left town, started my own forensic consulting firm specialized in fraud investigation for divorce cases. Turns out there's good money in helping people document their cheating spouse's financial crimes. I bought a condo downtown, started dating again cautiously, even met someone, Sienna, a federal prosecutor. She knows my story, says she admires my attention to detail. Some of you will probably say I went too far, that I should have just walked away, but here's the thing, they didn't just cheat, they did it in my house, on my furniture. Laughing about it, they destroyed my concept of family, of trust, of basic human decency. So I destroyed their lives methodically, legally, thoroughly, and I slept like an effing baby every night. Update 6 months later, lot of DMs asking how I'm doing. Fair enough, here's where things stand, the business is booming. Turns out when you've got a reputation for taking down cheaters through financial forensics, every high net worth individual in a bad marriage wants your number. I've got 3 employees now on a waiting list. Sienna and I are solid. She gets it, doesn't try to psychoanalyze me or fix me. We keep our finances separate. She jokes it's because she knows what I can do with financial records. It's not a joke, we both know it, but you're not here for my success story. You want to know about them. Gerald ran into a former employee of his at a bar. Apparently my father had been telling everyone I set him up because I was jealous of his success. The IRS agent who handled his case literally laughed when Gerald tried the defense. He's living in a studio apartment now, still working at Jiffy Lube. Tried to reconcile with my mother, his ex-wife, but she told him to F off. Even she didn't know about the tax fraud and she was PSD more, and this one's almost sad. Almost she tried to rebuild her brand as a redemption coach, helping people recover from public scandals. Posted this long video about how her journey through darkness led to enlightenment. Nobody bought it. Turns out when you're known as the woman who directed her husband effing his son's wife, there's no coming back from that. Her sister kicked her out after Morin tried to seduce her brother-in-law. Now she's working at a new age bookstore making minimum wage and trying to sell healing crystals to tourists. Brooke, this is where it gets dark. Remember that pill problem I mentioned? It got worse, a lot worse. One of her former colleagues reached out to me. Brooke had been arrested for trying to forge prescriptions, lost her cocktail job for stealing from the register, was living in her car for a while. Her mother called me. Can you believe that? Actually called me crying, begging me to help her daughter. Said Brooke was cleaning herself slowly and I was the only one who ever handled her. I told her the truth. Your daughter left my father and stepmother in my house. She chose this path. She hung up. I know some of you think I should feel guilty. I don't. Every consequence they faced came from their own actions. I just made sure those actions had the appropriate results. Life now. Sienna asked me something last week that made me think. We were at dinner and she said, do you ever worry you'll run into them? Truth is, I don't think about them much anymore. They're just case studies now, examples I use when clients ask how thorough my work is. I took down my own father for tax fraud. I tell them, imagine what I can do to your cheating spouse. It's a HL of a sales pitch, but there's something else, something I haven't told anyone, not even Sienna. I kept the house, had it professionally cleaned twice, bought new furniture, but I kept it. Sometimes I sit in that living room in the exact spot where I found them and I feel nothing, no anger, no pain, just nothing. That's what they gave me. Nothing, no father, no wife, no family. So that's what I gave them back. Nothing. Fair trade if you ask me. Update 3:15 years after yesterday. I wasn't planning on updating again. Figured the story was over then. Yesterday happened. I need to give you context first. Life's been good, really good. The firm's got offices in 3 cities now. Sienna and I got married 5 years ago. Small ceremony, just close friends. We decided not to have kids. Neither of us trust the world enough to bring someone innocent into it. I'm 47 now, successful, healthy. I box 3 times a week, keeps the anger channeled. Haven't thought about the 3 of them in years. Then the doorbell rang at 8 p.m. last night. I've got cameras everywhere, paranoid. Maybe check the feed. Nearly dropped my phone. Gerald and mean 15 years older, looking like absolute SHT. Gerald's maybe 69 now, looked 80, thin gray, walking with a cane. Morin beside him, no trace of the wellness goddess. Left just a tired woman in a cheap coat. I could have ignored them, should have, but some part of me wanted to see this, wanted to look them in the eyes one more time. I opened the door. Son Gerald started. Don't they stood there on my porch, the porch of my $2.8 million house, looking pathetic. We need help more, and said no wellness